France's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Development has refused a request by the Paris legal attaché of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, to interview former President Barack Obama, who fled to the French Polynesian island of Tahiti while being pursued by investigators from the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, of the U.S. Department of the Treasury, DOT, seeking to interview him about one of the largest drug busts in American history occurring in the Caribbean aboard a fishing vessel named the Lady Michelle. Beginning on the 10th of March, President Obama fled from his home in Washington, D.C. using an over 9,600-kilometer, 6,000 miles, escape path that brought him first to New York City, where he met with his private attorneys, then Omaha, Nebraska, where he met with famed billionaire investor Warren Buffett, then to California, where he met with American tech titans, then to Hawaii, where he said goodbye to his wife and family, with his finally ending up in Tahiti under French government control that is nearly impossible to extradite anyone from, and whose citizens are urging him to run to be the next French president. As to why U.S. agents are seeking to interview President Obama, as related to the massive crackdown by the President Donald Trump administration against the world's largest illegal drug smuggling organization known as the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, that over the decades have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into the bank accounts of American leaders. Of the new SVR information about President Obama's fleeing from U.S. investigators seeking to interview him about the massive Lady Michelle drug bust, today's report reveals that Hillary Clinton is now aiding the President Trump administration, and who, after being interviewed by FBI agents last week about the CIA's drug operation, received an unexpected gift when U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions then sided with Clinton in a U.S. federal court, asking them not to pursue any more emails from her. Even more intriguing, though, is this new SVR report stating that President Obama's meeting with billionaire investor Warren Buffett prior to his fleeing to Tahiti was the most consequential to his survival, as Buffett has long been known as the fixer between deep state warring elements within America, such as during the 11th of September 2001 terror attacks upon the U.S. when he was waiting for President Bush's arrival at the U.S. Strategic Command Headquarters, located at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska, to negotiate a cessation of hostilities. Buffett's further connections with President Obama was his aiding Obama's illegal stealing of hundreds of billions of dollars from U.S. mortgage giants Fannie and Freddie Mae investors to secret finance his socialist healthcare debacle called Obamacare, and that Buffett fully supported, to the master plan devised by the Obama-Buffett deep state factions to destroy President Trump, is by wielding their weapon of choice called the Federal Reserve to prick the largest bubble in human history and collapse the entire U.S. stock market, and along with it the entire American economy too, with the biggest test of Trump's presidency having begun yesterday after the U.S. reached its debt ceiling, and causing the U.S. Treasury to have suspended nearly all of its operations. His deep state enemies, led by Buffett, have accelerated the growth of U.S. stock markets to unsustainable levels not matching any economic reality, thus ensuring a catastrophic collapse when this bubble is burst and leaving the control of this nation in grave doubt, and bringing absolute hell to America when this happens. This report warns, will be President Trump having to survive the collapse of nearly every single pension plan in the United States, nearly all of whom are now bankrupt and leaving tens of millions of Americans at risk of losing everything. And as to how President Trump will survive this deep state war against him, many in America are now speculating will be but his imposing martial law, trial balloon for a coup, Trump/Bannon planning for martial law, and that the still secret National Security and Homeland Security Presidential Directive, known as Directive 51, gives him the power to do any time he so chooses, and that would give him absolute and total power over all of the United States to crush forever his liberal leftist communistic enemies.